Hi everybody, welcome to M13 draft. I'm Chris Allen, drafting for Wizards Norman. Coming into this pack, this is not the most exciting one I've ever seen. Our picks here could be Avon Squire, Giant Scorpion, Arbor Elf. I would put those pretty far ahead of anything else here. I've always had excellent results with exalted creatures, especially black-white. Exalted is an incredible archetype in this format, so we'll take the Avon Squire and see what follows. Person next to us took the rare, so we don't get a very strong signal there. Our options here are we could stick in white and take the Griffin Protector, which is solid. Mark of the Vampire is great, but I don't think it's second pick quality. And after that, you get into significantly weaker stuff with Crippling Blight, which is okay. Divination, Yeva's Force Mage. I like the idea of just forcing Black-White Exalted and taking the Mark of the Vampire here. However, Griffin Protector is really solid, and there's a bunch of cards in white that it works well with, so we won't branch out yet. Here, Fog Bank is excellent if you're drafting the Blue-White Flyers deck. Timberpack Wolf, because it's a bear at worst, and has a significant upside. I really love me some Fog Bank, though. I think I prefer it over the second Griffin Protector. Now, do I like it enough to take a second Fog Bank versus Welkin Turn, which is, if we're going Blue-White Skies, is an excellent card. I think we're not committed to Blue-White Skies yet, and if we end up playing a more controlling defensive deck, this thing is just incredible, so we'll take this and continue seeing where the draft takes us. Here, Safe Passage is acceptable. Harbor Serpent, if we're playing that slow controlling deck, is an excellent win condition. Other than that, we'd have to go into black and take a Sign in Blood or Kite Sail, which is decent, but hopefully most of our creatures are going to have flying anyway. Safe Passage is just such an excellent combat trick that we'll take that and see where it gets us. We now have... This is excellent. We're seeing definitely playable blue and white cards, so we've picked the right colors to be in. We have the option of the Guardians to further our Exalted theme. However, only 2 of our creatures in our deck would be able to attack. A Johnny Sunstriker is just an excellent creature, and it looks like we're... I definitely think that that's the card for this. Also, or we could get a little bolder and take the Redirect. I think the Sunstriker is just too solid to not take. I see 2 options here, a Johnny Sunstriker or Welkin Turn. I think definitely I would take the Sunstriker with the Silvercoat Lion, even at this point. We kind of have to choose if we want the Lifelinker or the ground guy, or the flying, and I think the Lifelink has a sufficient upside. Here we have just 1 soldier so far, so Warfwelkin's not amazing, but it does have a lot of playability just as a 2-1 to block. However, there's tricks of the trade in this pack, and we have 2 Ajani Sunstrikers. Unblockable 4-2 Lifelinkers seem to be a good way to win in this format. Our options here, we could grab the card that's excellent against Mill as a sideboard option. I don't think we're ever going to want to play Guardian Lions. And this isn't shaping up to be a Vidalcan Entrancer deck. I think I'll just take I could take the flexible sideboard card, or I could take the card that's good against us. I'll take a playable over a not playable. Here, Divine Favor or Kraken Hatchling. neither one is very likely to make the cut, but in some bizarre world, Divine Favor could make it. We're happy to take a Scroll Thief, especially if we get enough exalted creatures and we can actually make it a threat. Silvercoat Lion. This is excellent. Judging by the cards that we're getting, blue-white is pretty open. We're getting late pick playables. Now we just need to open some sweet bombs in pack 2. Other than that, I would just basically take all the exalted creatures I could get. I'd really not want to open that. Our options here are, if we want to stay in our colors, we take an Avon Squire. I could take that, but we got no green pack 1, and I'm not excited about my possibility of getting some. Could splash a Searing Spear. Like I said, we're really eager to get exalted creatures in this deck, so I'll take this and hope we don't play against the Silklash Spider. And this is amazing. There are 6 cards in this pack that I want, and I would play every single one of if given the option. This is really tough. Switcheroo is amazing. Pacifism is really good. And then we have excellent Exalted Essence Scatter, which we're going to really look for in this sort of deck to get down some early beaters with Exalted. Turn 4, cast an Avon Squire, hold up Essence Scatter is the sort of line of play you want to do with this deck. I think Switcheroo is the play here. I hate to pass the pacifism, but like the potential upside of this is tremendous. Sphinx of Uthin. Well, our deck was pretty aggressive, but I think we can fit in some 7 drops. It's either that or take a Fairy Invaders or Encrust, and I mean these are both excellent cards, as is the Watercourser. We would play that too, but we've already got the cards if we wanted to play a more defensive, slower deck, and if they keep passing us sweet stuff like this, that's what's going to happen. Like this Rock's Faith Mender and Essence Scatter. I want both of these cards. We have double Sunstriker to make this good. It's also a 1/5 for 4. I really want Essence Scatter, but I love playing with rares. That might be a personality flaw, but we're going to go with this and see what we can do with it. Archaeomancer goes with our Switcheroo and our Safe Passage, which is not the most exciting, but we've got some time to get more stuff. It's either that or take the Grizzly Bear. I think I've got a lot of 2-drops already. I'm going to go for this since it could have the higher upside. Especially if I get those things that I'm actually looking for, like Essence Scatters. Here we have an option of Watercourser or Battleflight Eagle. I think Battleflight Eagle is what we're looking for. It has a bigger upside. Essence Scatter, the thing we really, really, really want. Black is super open also. These are excellent. Angelic Benediction is a card I really like, and it's, again, I'm not sure if we're playing the long-term Cast Sphinx and do Switcheroo deck or the attack with 2-drops, but I think this has enough of a space in either one of those, and I mean, there's nothing else in here we would want. Here we have the option of just a vanilla beater or Rain of Blades or Erase. And the question is, which one of these am I more likely to board in? I think I'm more likely to board in an Erase. Late Encrust, the Wield, I'm very happy to take that. I'll definitely even take a second Encrust. At this point, I feel like we're at at this point we have enough stall cards that we can definitely take these big expensive things with a reasonable expectation of living to play them. If our opponent wants to play either of those, they're welcome to. And I mean, we've already got 21 cards here that I would be very content to play. Everything we get after this is gravy. We might not have enough to play the Archaeomancer right now. We've only got 1, 2, 3 things that pair with it. I would be very happy to get something like even an Unsummon. I mean, we saw a ton of Mark of the Vampires, and those are gonna ruin our day unless we have a plan for them. Which, admitted, we have 2 encrusts, but we have a lot of good options here. Touch of the Eternal, which is underestimated. It's not a junk rare. If, again, you're playing a slow controlling deck like this, where you have a lot of permanent blockers, you can make it that they're never going to be able to take you down. Encrust, Fairy Invaders, Aven Squire are all excellent. And I think here is where we make the final decision on, are we playing the 2-drop deck? Are we playing the ultra controlling deck, or some sort of going for the mid-range value option? Because I don't think I want a 3rd Encrust. And, well, given the way this has been going, this is probably going to wheel or something. I think I'm going to go with the general rule of thumb that flyers are excellent, flash flyers are excellent. No, I changed my mind. I'm going to take the Exalted guy. It's foil. And you can never have too many Exalted. You're going to reach that awesome critical mass. Thankfully here, our pick is pretty easy. We're going to take the huge flying Vigilance way to win the game. We have options here of Ring of Thune, which the Vigilance I'm not that excited about. I definitely prefer most of the green ring or the black ring or even the red ring over that, but it's playable. Divine Verdict as an option, or Captain's Call. We've got a Switcheroo, we've got a Griffin Protector. We don't have quite as much removal as I would like. However, I think Divine Verdict is the pick. Nah, Captain's Call. I like it as a one of, especially since we're going to be able to get it back with the Archaeomancer. It works well with our Switcheroo. It works well with our Griffin Protector. This is so clunky. Here. Oh, and it makes Soldiers, which works well with a War Falcon if we decide that's the deck we want. I still think our soldier count has gone up since we last checked. We now have 4. 4. That's still insufficient to play that. I think Divination is a fine card for a deck like this. Keep us from running out of gas. Here we've got the Unsummon, which is one of those cards I said I would be happy to play. It's either that or take a bear. I think the Unsummon is what we're interested in, especially as something that we could have as a sideboard option. Infinity, Mark of the Vampires. We have the option of a blue ring here, which we have very few creatures that it goes on, and most of the creatures it would go on are already really good, though this is not going to be main deck at this point. It's either that or we take a Blade Tusk Boar or a Kite Sail or one of these cards that could potentially be problematic for us. I think I'll just take this Blade Tusk Boar. I can double up on Angelic Benedictions, which could be good in multiples, but I think it negates what we're interested in here. It's an excellent card for the board in certain matchups. And a Crusader of Odric is absolutely what this deck is interested in. Take this as a potential sideboard card. Some sort of deck that's killing you with Tormented Souls or something. It's flexible. Here our options are a second scroll thief or a courtly provocateur. I think I'll go for a second scroll thief. 1/3s are excellent and have a potential upside. The ring wheeled, so that decision was not as hard as I made it seem. We'll take a War Falcon in case we need 1/2 defenders. Trumpet Blast could randomly kill us. Take a blue ring, have all the rings we want. This definitely has come out very well. We've got a lot of cards to pick from here, so we're actually going to have some decisions to make as we build our deck. Got 30 selected right now, so we're going to have to pare that down quite a bit to figure out what we want to work with. I think the blue ring is definitely making the cut because we don't have enough that it goes with, even though it has a useful ability. I like the tricks of the trade in this. It's an excellent win condition since we've got a lot of defensive cards, and just dropping that on something is going to give us an excellent win route. So we'll pull in the obvious stuff. Crusader, all the squires. I would play infinite squires. Silvercoat Lion, sure. Play the Sphinx, play the Switcheroo. Tricks of the Trade, both encrusts. Divination, Essence Scatter, 2 Fog Banks. Sort by converted mana cost. Drag this up so you all can see it. And, I mean, we've got a gorgeous curve here also. So we've got 3 spots, because we want to reliably hit 4 land, 5, and, I mean, we have some expensive stuff that we want to play. So that leaves us with 3 cards we can bring in. And for this deck, right now main we have 1, 2, 3, 4 instants or sorceries, which I don't think is enough by itself to run the Archaeomancer. However, I'm pretty sure this Unsummon is making the cut. At that point, I'd like to bring in the Archaeomancer and the Angelic Benediction. Now, the only question I'm still thinking of here is this Angelic Benediction versus, say, Safe Passage. I definitely like the opportunity Safe Passage gives you for combat tricks. However, we're in the Exalted deck, so it's not like we've got a bunch of powerful creatures we're going to be blocking with. We've got Fog Banks that Safe Passage is a non-bow with. So I kind of like the option this gives us for additional aggression, for getting in there with Sunstrikers, or giving some of these creatures a critical mass they need to attack. And I think we will submit. I'll see you all in after I add land. 9/8. We have a fair amount of double blues. We would really like double white on turn 2 if we can get it. A lot of these times, I don't think I want to skew the mana distribution too much further away from this, though. I think we will do 10/7 though. We'll submit this, and like I said, we'll see you all in round 1.